Three. Welcome, everyone. I want to thank everyone for being here. We're going to start a little bit early. We've got Brian Higgles with us here today, guys. And I want to tell you something. In the back room here, I'm more impressed than ever on what I don't know. And if you're a smart person, you're going to realize what you don't know is probably more important than what you do know. I'd like to, first of all, welcome our special guest, Brian Higgles. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you, Johnny and Jeff. I'm honored to be here.
Let me ask you a question, just off the cuff. When we were talking about doing this interview, what was the one thing that was on your mind? You said something to me about people not using the information.
Oh, sure. Providing great information to users is invaluable, and whether or not they apply that information is up to the user. And so, some of the tips and the techniques that I'm going to share with you today, again, are proven for me. They've worked for me and my channel, and I think that they would also work for your viewers and their channels. And it doesn't matter what genre that they're in. These techniques work for any genre. And just applying the techniques in a useful way can be extremely profitable.
And would you say that your way are the only way?
No, I don't say my way is the only way. That's for sure. What I do and how I do it is certainly not the gospel. It's just what's worked for me. I come from a long experience of web design. I spent 30 years in the web design industry. I still do it today. And I've taken the techniques that I've used in web design and I've applied them to YouTube, and it's been very beneficial for me.
Fantastic. And I want to welcome, if you see me hold up my finger, take your time finishing your statement. That means I want to welcome some people into the room, if you would. We're going to go to, I want to get the present screen here, and we're going to put this guy up here on the side. I'm going to hopefully put it up on mine rather than cut your face off. I can't say that my knowledge of technology here is going to be very helpful. One second. Okay, let me do that.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sarcastic. It's a pleasure here. I want to welcome everyone in here. I'm just trying to get this up and going, and very good. So, Sherry, welcome. McMillan Urban Gardening. If you're not following Sherry, please give her a look. She's building a high tunnel right now, and she's a wonderful person. I can say that from my years. Ever since I've been on YouTube, I've known Sherry. Thank you for being here.
Hey, Sherry.
Welcome. Pleasure. Thank you for being here. Brian's going to open your mind, every one of you guys, to ways to think about this. And if I would say anything, guys, while you're starting out here, is listen to it again, and listen to it again. And I think we're going to play this again on Saturday, guys, because I think it's that important. Some of the stuff that we were talking about before we got in is fantastic. Dobfather, I want to thank you for being here. Fantastic for you being here, by the way, and thank you so much for sharing it out. If you would, share it out. If you have not checked out B. Higgles' YouTube page, you can. We're going to be talking about some of that later as we go through the presentation. Countryside Russell, thank you so much for being here. I want to thank you for joining us today. And let me see, Sarcastic Storage Stacker, fantastic. Thank you so much, Bud, for being here. Sarcastic Storage Stacker has an amazing channel that he's built up just like Storage Wars, and it's really doing well. He's got some amazing content. Well, let's start out here then. I think we have your logo. I'm curious of the fish, by the way.
I just found that fish on some stock footage. I just liked the way that it looked. In fact, it was inspired by Diggin' SoCal. I don't know if anybody knows the Diggin' SoCal channel, Bill and Christine.
Yes.
Great people. Yeah, great people, huge channel, tons of views, and they have a mascot. His name's Gary. It's a seagull, and I thought that was fun. And so I looked for something that was, kind of entertaining to me. I used to be a fisherman. As you can see, my logo says treasure hunting and kayak fishing. So kayak fishing used to be my zen before I found the awesomeness of metal detecting through Digging SoCal. I spent, as we all did, we were trapped at home and during the pandemic, and I was watching YouTube videos, and I found Digging SoCal and just watched them and how much fun that they were having. And I thought, man, I can do that. I really can do that. So I researched all the metal detectors. I decided on the Equinox 800 for myself. I purchased that metal detector and my first ever metal detector. And I unboxed that thing, took it out, turned it on, and started finding treasure. So I've been very inspired by the Digging SoCal channel, and it's really helped me to make my channel what it is today.
So if you had a preference, I don't even know if this is a fair question, kayaking or metal detecting, where would you go? Which one would you? Is there
Well,
possible?
yeah, it's very difficult to choose between the two, of course. But since metal detecting, I've only been fishing twice in the last 2 years. Or I've been at it about 19 months now. And so in the last 19 months, I've only been fishing 2 times, and I probably go metal detecting, twice in a day. So
Well, and by the way, guys, if you have any idea, what's your feed count at now, subscriber wise?
let me see. I am at 3,830.
And this is since February of 2021, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. Guys, think about what we're talking about here. I'd like to welcome some people into the room. If you think the reason why he's only gone fishing is because of anything other than him having a business, and then on top of it, the activity on your channel, it's crazy, guys, because he's everywhere. And the reason why he's on here, guys, is because he's going to help us make more out of what we're doing. And I can say that for myself. Here we go again. Welcome to the channel. I want to thank you for being here. Our guest today is Brian Higgles. This is his web channel, and he has so much more we're going to get into. Al Chaff, the guy with the tape on beard. I swear to God, I told that to your wife the other day. She kind of chuckled. I don't think you think it's so funny, but we also sell beard products, and I can send you to a guy, but if it's real. Welcome, by the way, bud. It's a pleasure to have you here today. Josette, Egypt, Brazil. 13,000 people, international. One of her accounts that she's a moderator for now has, I think, several 100,000 people.
Wow.
She's incorporated. Well, Josette, you're going to want to check out Brian's channel. We're both very similar people, and you're going to want to check out his channel as well. Just like you've helped me, she shared me out a whole bunch of times. Thank you for being here.
I just want to say howdy to everybody, and thank you for being here. I see a lot of new faces and a lot of new names, which is great. That's what this community is all about. So,
right, and that's absolutely right, and that's what you're going to see in here. You're going to see a whole bunch of people. I think are going to be new. Nez Lover, thank you for being here. Nez is one of the longtime followers for me. Been on and off is because I've taken a long break from YouTube before I came back. Just like Christy, tips and trips for beginners. Christy teaches some of this stuff. She gives tips and tricks. Christy, this is going to be an amazing session today. Emily Blessings, welcome today. We have Brian Higgles. Brian Higgles is not only a website, he has Twitter, he has Instagram, Facebook, and a business that he does web design. So we're going to have him take us through that in a little bit. Thank you for coming. Let me see here. I want to make sure we're through everyone. Freedom Frog Gear, thank you for coming in. And let me see if I caught up there. The Bud Files. I think Brian knows the Bud Files.
I do very well. Very well.
Yep. A big supporter. Thank you for being here, Bud Files. It means a lot. It really does. Storage Bandits, thanks for being here. Here we go again. Thank you for being here. And I want to get back into this. We're all caught up. Fantastic. Okay, so I've got this one slide here. I want to go to the next one because I think I think it's pretty cool. Oh, 1 second here. Let me get this. Hide that. Go down here. This slide right here. This is more like what I think every day of your life is. Give or take a green grass, a school, an abandoned building. So what would you say is your average day with metal detecting right now?
Well, I get up and have myself a couple of cups of coffee, of course, and get going. And my stuff is generally charged, ready to go, sitting in the truck, ready for me to jump in it. That picture that you see right there is from the 1925 grade school permission that I obtained here in my region. This school is for sale, and there was a for sale sign in the front yard of this school. It's a beautiful old 1925 school. It's just a gorgeous place. It's got 3 acres of land. And so I just called the number on the for sale sign, and luckily the owner picked up the phone and we got to talking for a bit, and she was more than happy to allow me to come out and metal detect this area. And I tell you, I've had an incredible, incredible time out there. That 1925 school has provided me 43 silvers and 30 bucket listers in the 30 days that I'd been out there detecting. I spent all last winter out there. Just an incredible place. I feel so at peace when I'm out there. You can just see it's beautiful area, beautiful country. It's all surrounded by farms and a whole lot of nothing, which I really enjoy. I get out there, I feel very close to God. I feel very calm, and as soon as I get there, my metal detecting instincts kick in, and I get that thing fired up and get out there and find that treasure.
Grab Fam's Scratching, thank you for being here. Professional Paranormal Research, thanks for being here. Tavana on the Trail is an author and an extreme runner of 100-mile races. Currently working through an ankle issue,
Awesome.
which you get from running 100-mile races. Yeah, it's awesome. I want to make sure I get everyone here. Grandma Ducky, thank you for being here. Nicole Chaff, your husband with the tape on. I'm not going to go down that road again. Robbie Garns, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure. Charlene Isha, thank you so much for being here. Wow, so many people that are coming back again. Thank you so much. So is this the schoolyard that you found the time capsule?
It is a 72-year-old time capsule. It's a mason jar. I'd be happy to get it. It's just right here behind me. I'll grab it and we'll talk about treasure for a minute.
Sure. Guys, welcome. Thank you all for coming in.
So I found this time. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. No, go ahead.
I found this on January 9th of this year, and it was about 10, 12 inches deep. And this is what I found. Just a basic mason jar. It's the old mason jar. It's got
Let me see if I can give you the big screen here.
Sure.
Let's do this.
It's got the original ceramic.
I'm miserable. Sorry. I'm trying.
That's
okay. Well, that's not going to work. I don't want to mess it up. Oh, wait, something's happening. There it is. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't see it, but here's the inside. It's got the original ceramic in it. It's just a mason jar, very simple. But inside the mason jar, as I was uncovering it, I could see inside the jar. And of course, anytime
Let me get back to where we were, Brian. I'm messing up here big time. 1 second. I'm having a technical issue on my end. Give me 1 second, please. We're going to add you back in. I don't know what happened. I just want to get you back in the screen, and I don't want to move around too much.
Sure.
Give me a second here. Let's get you back in here. You're here. I just don't. Yeah. I can't. 1 second.
I see myself on the left just below you.
My computer guy said, finally, it's time. I've been fighting it long enough, and it's just, he said the motherboard has an issue. So we're going to have to stick with this. I don't want to mess with it.
Yeah, not a problem.
Can you hold that up again?
Yeah, here's the jar, of course. And like I said, it's just a normal mason jar. It was 8, 10, 12 inches deep. And as any metal detectorist, imagines, as soon as they see a jar deep down in the earth, they're hoping that it's full of silver coins and treasure. But mine just had this letter in it. And so on this letter is the name of the principal and the 10 graduating students from the class of 1950 from this grade school. And so me and the homeowner got really excited when we found that. And she started researching the names on the list. And we found that 6 were deceased, 2 we were unable to find. And then 2 we found were still alive and well. And it turns out one of the names on the list is Linda Yearby. And Linda Yearby went on to become one of the very first professional women's basketball players from Indiana. She created.
Amazing.
She was on the Texas Cowgirls down in Texas, and then started several other organizations to help charity wise and things of that nature. And then her and another ended up creating one of the very first women's professional basketball teams in the nation.
How's that, guys? How is that? Huh?
Yeah,
You find
super
that in a field.
exciting. I mean, super exciting for me. I'm still ecstatic about it. It's one of my most favorite finds to date. Just you don't find time capsules every now and then. It's just one of those special items. And so to be blessed with a find like that, I'm truly grateful.
Yeah, and absolutely 100%. Abandoned Forgotten Whales, thank you for coming in. I want to catch up with the chat here. Sweetie Pie Glow, thanks for coming. Martin S, UK, one of the big major influencers in Europe for the entire fishing community. I want to tell you, when Martin's in here, you've got something going. Thank you for coming, Martin, and everyone. Thank you so much.
While we're on treasure, I'll go ahead and just state that I found
sure.
43. I found 43 silvers out at the grade school and 30 bucket list. So it's really propelled my channel. And here's my silver box. And
Look at that, guys.
That's all the silver that I found in the last 19 months. And it started on day 3. The Equinox 800 manual said to start in your yard. So that's where I did start, was in my own front yard. And I found one of my favorite rings just 3 foot out my front door. And I found an 1800s button in my backyard. And ever since that, I've been hooked ever since. I just can't get enough.
Well, I can tell, because it certainly seems like an absolute a driving passion. It's not just like a passive thing. You're out there hunting this stuff and loving it too, by the way, from everything I see.
Well, I finally found a hobby that pays. You know, my fishing hobby never paid me much. I only spent money on fishing. And so when I found metal detecting and I started pulling silver and gold and all that kind of great stuff right out of the ground, well, I definitely was hooked and couldn't turn back.
Let me ask you, do you have a hard stop at all tonight, or do you have a little bit of open end?
Yeah, I'm open.
Okay. Mr. Tully, welcome. Harry Humstone, welcome again. Thank you for being here. I want to tell you, we've got some, I want to make sure I recognize everyone for being here, because there's what I think I read 132 million accounts, and you chose to be here today. Thank you so much. I don't know if it's 50 or 133. I don't know what, you probably would know that.
Harry wanted to know what state I'm in. Harry, I'm in Indiana. Yep. I'm in southern Indiana. And apparently I'm in one of the greatest spots in all the country for metal detecting, because anywhere I go, the area is untouched. I've only met one other metal detectorist in my area, and I had to go way up north to do that. And so it's like every single location that I go to is just totally loaded. It's full of treasure, and I just have a blast everywhere I go. So I'm very grateful.
I think everyone gets kind of jealous. Yeah, they get.
I hope not.
I'm telling you, this doesn't happen everywhere. No, I think it's all in good poking fun.
Sure.
Let me see here. So you've got a social media presence, right? I mean, let's share this out in case anyone wants to check some of your other stuff. You've got. Go ahead.
I'm definitely on YouTube, and I'm on Twitter and Facebook, and now TikTok. I'm not available on Instagram. That's the only platform that I'm not on.
And by the way, it's Brian Higgles, B. Higgles. He has a website, bhiggles.com. And he also has a YouTube channel here. He said that since February of 2021, it's 3,800 plus followers, guys, from 0 to 30. That's a drag racer. That's that's instant acceleration. It's amazing. So we have a whole bunch of different platforms, and this is your company, right? You do some web stuff. Is that correct?
That's correct. I've been in the web design industry for 30 years now. CustomTwit.com is my business website where if you need any sort of web design or graphic design of any nature, feel free to give me a holler. I make logos, I build websites, I can make ad graphics, just about anything and everything that you need. And I've been
Fantastic.
very blessed to be in that industry. Being in web design has allowed me to work at my own pace. It allows me to go and do what I want to do during the day. If I want to get out and do some digging, then I can always come home and do some web work at night. So it's been very beneficial for me, and I'm very grateful to be in the industry.
Would I say, would it be fair to say that you started all this YouTube stuff during COVID, or was it, what was the driving force of that?
It was mostly because of COVID. Obviously, being stuck inside, that's what turned me on to the streaming channels, Hulu and YouTube and all of that. And that's where I was just surfing through and started finding the metal detecting channels. And the more I watched, it just was really interesting. And I thought, man, I can do that. So it's like I said, I got my Equinox and I went out there and started finding treasure, and I haven't turned back since.
And our guest today is Brian Higgles. Brian Higgles has a website, design company, SEO, all the fancy stuff that he's going to translate here to YouTube. That's why we have him here. And I want to tell you, if you're not going to stay and get a piece of paper and a pencil, I'm going to tell you this stuff that we're going to be talking about is dynamite. I wanted to fill you in a little bit because I went, by the way, Rika, welcome. Deadheads Coins, welcome. Jody Greenwood, welcome. 351 Cleveland, welcome. Thank you so much. Hey, Mr. Alien, Mr. Duggar, dude, thank you for being here, man. It's awesome to have you here. Bottle Top Bandit, welcome to the channel. Nightmare, thank you for being here. Guys, today we have Brian Higgles. We're going to be talking about the things that you need to know to take your content and the things you probably never heard before behind the scenes. And if you have, maybe a way to incorporate them to get more views and everything else on your channel. By the way, I went to your website, bhiggles.com, right? That's the right nomer, is that right? The
Yes, sir.
right address?
That's me.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, if we sign up for your newsletter, do we get these tunes?
The beats there, I
Yeah.
created myself. They're available for free download right on the website. You can download them for free without even signing up for the newsletter.
Okay, guys.
Those were beats that
listen to
I
this.
created. As everybody knows, when you create some great content, sometimes you want a little bit of music in the background. And I was having trouble finding longer MP3s to be able to fill a nice long video. And since I couldn't find them myself, I decided to start creating them myself. And I went into GarageBand and started playing with it. And I was able to make those 6 beats, and they've been used by many channels. And all I ask is that you give me a little bit of credit like you would on any music file.
And guys, I listened to them. I listened to 3 of them. They're good. They're really good. And I'm going to download them.
Thank you.
So I'm just telling you, yes, absolutely. I wanted to make sure that people know about it because they want to know what's on there. And I found this page, this photograph right here, to be the Higgles, the name, because I call you Higgles. Now, I didn't know this when I called you Higgles. So tell us about Higgles and how that all came about.
My actual name is Brian Hansen. The Higgles came in several years back. As I said, I used to fish, and I've got one buddy that when he fishes, he spends a lot of time in the trees. And so I have a technique where I just kind of jiggle the lure right out of the tree. And I showed my buddy that technique, and he dubbed it the Higgle. And that's where the Higgle name came from. And all my friends call me B. So B Higgles was born. And that's the Higgle jiggle that'll get your lure right out of the tree. It's just a simple flicking technique that I use. And had he not spent so much time in the trees, that name probably would have never been born.
And I want to make a special note here. You know AAP as well. Thank you for the
Oh, I
AAP
do.
raid.
Yeah.
Guys.
What's up, AAP?
That means a lot to me. AAP is a long time person that I have hung with. I don't go to his feed as much anymore. AAP, thank you so much. I'm trying to make it through my computer right now, guys, and it's terrible. But guys, AAP, I want to say a special note of thanks to you for what you did. You bringing these people here means everything, guys, and it's a sign of respect for Brian, and I want to thank you all for that.
Yeah, the guy holding the fish is the guy who spends all the time in the trees.
Yeah, well, there's what is there, fishing and there's catching, right?
Yeah, that's
I
right.
heard that the other day. I thought that was charming. I love it. So special thanks to AAP here and Nightmare and all the folks that came. Angie and Rick.
Yeah,
Thank
hey
you so
Angie and
much.
Rick, how are you?
Yeah, they're everywhere. They're growing. Alan's awesome keto world. I want to thank you for being here. The Enforcer, thank you for being here. Man, I'm telling you, so many people go to AAP's channel. Thank you so much again.
Yeah, AAP is great because they've taken this growth and spread it all throughout the community, and community based growth is very easy to accomplish and it's very vital in a successful channel. I do believe that this community rocks. Everybody supports each other. And it was this community that restored my faith in humanity, to be honest with you, that I found out there are still good people out there that like to get together and share thoughts and ideas and work together to achieve a common goal.
Was there any particular event online that said, wait a minute, this is a pretty good deal? Was there a moment when you came online and you were in a chat room, or was it you got some responses back for a video? What was it?
Yeah, I just like most anybody, when I first started, I just started going into these other lives and other streams and just started introducing myself and becoming part of the community. And everybody's been really grateful and really encouraging and help me to spread my message. And everybody's always out to support you. And I think that's fantastic.
Yes. And just by the way, next week, we've got Juice on from Can You Dig It Metal Detecting. Okay, awesome. So I had to ask that question. Now, the two videos, besides, by the way, guys, if you're not going to go look at the time capsule video, you're crazy. You're out of your minds. Now,
Thank you.
But other than that, because that's I think that's the only time capsule I've seen pulled up in a year. And I know there's other ones probably, but I thought that was so unique. It was so unique. It was one of those defining moments when I really felt like your channel finally was front and center, and it just got so much focus. It was that big of a find.
Yeah, that school has really just rocket shipped my channel forward. I told the owner that it would, just from the location alone, but then to find out that it was untouched too, and that there was just silver laying around everywhere is incredible. I've got an entire playlist for the 1925 grade school. If you want to see those digs, they're very exciting. They're very exhilarating. I recommend that you start on day one, because from day one to day 31, it's just treasure after treasure after treasure.
And this would be a side comment. I won't ask you here because I think it's improper. But I think if a certain person would come back and talk about all the stuff that his channel is about, there would be a whole new generation of people coming from around the world, and that would be an offer up to you as well for doing this. Marty, thank you for coming. Marty is an incredible guys. Doesn't get any better than this. There's so many good channels out there. Drew's Paranormal Vlog, thank you for being here. And I want to get, we have one here, Adrian. I want to thank you. Welcome to the channel, by the way. I think it's fantastic that you made it here. Guys, I'm going to try to get to everyone. Alan's Keto World. If you're into the keto thing, guys, you need to check this guy out. He's a big part of the community, and wherever he goes, the keto world is. So, Lloyd's, thank you so much. By the way, guys, this gentleman lost his father recently. It was heartbreaking because it was such a long struggle for him. We did a moment of silence here for him. Let me see here. Past and present metal detecting. I have seen here before. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And I want to get back, see if blistering barnacles, you scallywag. Thanks for being here. I want to tell you, we can't take you anywhere. And by the way, Chart, this guy, I imagine, follows you. He's a great guy. We chat most every morning, by the way. And good guy. Let me see.
So the two videos that you have up there, the Drain Lake, that's an exciting adventure. That is my family camp. We have a camp out there, and it has been around for years and years and years, ever since I was a child. And there's a swimming area. It's just north of me, just a little bit. Okay. It's in Indiana. And over the year, they drained the lake so that everybody could repair their docks and get all the repairs done that they needed to. But that beach behind there was the swimming area and had been for probably the last 100 years. And so as the water went down and down and down, I just kept getting more and more excited to get out there and start finding the treasure. That video alone's almost up to 100,000 views. One of my most exciting adventures that I've ever had. There are 6 videos in that series. And the treasures, I've pulled ring after ring after ring, and earrings and jewelry and clad and just all sorts of great treasures from that. The Ancient Mineral Springs was an adventure that I went on with the guy that I just met recently. I met him up north while I was metal detecting in a park. I saw another metal detectorist and couldn't believe it, so I had to flag him down and go over and introduce myself, and we hit it off. The first day that I was with him when we met, he took me to a one-room school, and we went out there and had some fun out there. It's an 1865 school. But then a couple of weeks later, we got together, and he said, man, we got to go to the Ancient Mineral Springs. I'm like, okay, let's do that. So we went out to the Ancient Mineral Springs. As you can see just in the picture alone, these springs just pump literally right out of the ground, and they're just flowing right into the creek. And behind the springs is a cliff wall. And in that cliff wall are carvings, and the earliest date that I could find and the most prominent was the 1775 date that sticks out like a sore thumb right on the cliff wall. And so when I saw that kind of history like that, I knew that I was in an incredible spot. The very first find that I made out there was a tiny little bitty spike. It was what looks like a railroad spike, but it was sharpened on the end. And so me and others are convinced that that little spike was probably used to carve some of those names in the wall. So if you want to see some incredible history carved right into the wall of a cliff, please go by and watch that Ancient Mineral video. It's incredible. It really is.
Fantastic. And fantastic, guys. And then the time capsule one too. I think those are 1770. Man, that's incredible.
Yeah, 1775. You see that carved in on a rock, and you instantly turn back to the nostalgia of all the history that's been in that area. And there's dates everywhere. I mean, it's 1775, 1802, 1810, 1856. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. And there are really some incredible, elaborate carvings in this rock where people had chunked out entire sections, and they have it embossed, and you could tell that a lot of people have spent a lot of time out there at this park, and that place is really incredible.
So again, guys, for the people coming in, we have Brian Higgles here. Brian Higgles is a web designer, SEO expert. He's taken his channel from February of 2021 to just now at 3,800 plus followers. His videos are exploding. He has such great wealth of information. We're going to be getting into that here. Do you have anything else you'd like to add at this point about your metal detecting or kayaking and fishing experience?
My motto is to live with purpose, and life is short. And so I try to apply that in everything that I do. I try to live with purpose and share and be kind to people and be good to people. And I think that karma comes back around for me tenfold. So
where did you get live with purpose? I'm curious.
It just popped into my mind one day, as I was out at the school. In fact, like I said, I feel very, very close to it's like a religious thing with me out at the school. The place is so incredible. As soon as you arrive, your nerves and the busyness of life and everything that just literally falls right off you. And when I get there, I'm just totally focused, and the metal detecting madness comes right out, and I just get on it.
So let's talk a little bit now about some of the things here. Guys, you're going to want to get a piece of paper, a few of them, and a pen.
Hey, Alicia.
Yeah, welcome, Alicia. When we bump into each other everywhere, she's so wonderful. What are the things that when you started this YouTube journey, the nerdy things that you believe we should all know about right now, trying to be noticed or whatever it might be?
Well, when I started YouTube, again, I've been doing web design for 30 years, and the whole purpose of web design is basically to be found on the search engines. That's what's going to generate the traffic to get your people to your website. And so I've got 30 years experience of driving people to a website, and I figured if it works for websites, maybe it'll work for YouTube too. And I started out and I applied all my knowledge that I know about website design and SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization. Search engine optimization is very, very important, being found, whether it's on Google, Bing, or YouTube.
Now, how do we apply this? We all hear these things, right? I mean, I could tell you I'm overwhelmed.
It can be overwhelming. There's a lot to learn about it. There really is. But between, a proper title, a proper description in your video, and then using the proper tags in the tag section is really what it's all about. And the combination of putting those three together is what's been producing the results for me. I find that I appear very high in the search results when I search for the tag focus keyword phrases that I am targeting. And I keep all those tags and that information directly related to metal detecting. And it's done very, very well for me. And so the experience that I used and applied has generated results. As you said, I've only been on YouTube since February of 2021. I was monetized in 51 weeks. And, I've made almost $1,000 since February, and we're up to almost 600,000 views. So I'm very proud of that. I think that the techniques that I use have helped achieve that goal. And we're going to share some of those with you here real soon.
Fantastic. So are there three things, I don't know, 5, I don't know. I heard one person say, here's 17 things to do to improve your life. I'm like, well, that's a fail, is it? What are the 3 or 5 things that you see people doing? Maybe it's what you just covered, but what you see people doing that they probably should be doing differently. Does that make sense?
I find a lot of times that people like to use, like, let's say when we're talking about tag, let's just start at the title, because obviously it's very important, the title of your video. What I find that most people don't do, let's use the metal detecting genre for this example, but this applies in any genre on YouTube. But I noticed that, they'll say something like found a great ring, in the water at a lake. And they never use the word metal detecting. Well, metal detecting is a very highly searched keyword phrase in the metal detecting genre. So just by adding the 2 words metal detecting to your title can help create incredible changes. It goes from I found a gold ring to I found a gold ring metal detecting. Well, then that starts to get you in that metal detecting genre, and it starts to pull results related to metal detecting. So if you're in the metal detecting genre, make sure that every single title that you use has the words metal detecting in it.
Now, is there a way? I was talking with Shane the other day, and he said, "Yeah, we can also go to school on some of the bigger feeds, right? If we don't know what we're doing, and we're having some struggles getting found, we could also go to some bigger feeds and see what they're doing, right? Why reinvent the wheel?"
You can see what they're doing. There is an application. It's called TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy will actually help you get your SEO dialed in. They actually have a scoring system from 0 to 100%. And so if you have 0 SEO score, and if you have a 100% SEO score, then you're obviously going to be doing better in the SEO searches. And TubeBuddy is an awesome application. I have used it since starting to help me get my focus keyword phrases dialed in. And another mistake that a lot of people use, like let's say, for example, in tags is the section down below the description. And YouTube kind of blows it off and they say tags really aren't all that important, but it turns out tags are actually really, really important in the search engine portion of all this. And so by using tags, I think it's crucial that you use them. And I see a lot of people use one word tags. So for example, silver, gold, or rings. And so when somebody does a search by gold, as you can imagine, there are going to be just millions and millions and millions of results from the word gold. But if you'll change that tag to metal detecting gold, well, then you've narrowed that search and you've narrowed that audience result to more of the people that you're hoping to find and then find you. And so just by changing single words like silver, gold to metal detecting silver, metal detecting gold, metal detecting rings, you'll find that your results for those will start generating more views.
Do you need to use hashtags in your title?
Actually, I don't recommend them in the title. If you go over to any of my videos and you just click on the video to watch it, you'll see that there are 3 hashtags that actually appear above my title. And I call those enhanced hashtags. I don't know what they're officially called, but I call those enhanced hashtags. And when you put them in the title of your video, they don't get the traction that they do when you put them in the description. So what I do is I make a very clear, precise title. I like to use, obviously, the words metal detecting in the title. And then I always use the machine that I use. So for me, it's the MindLab Equinox 800 metal detector. I have that in the title, as well as the pinpointer that I use, the Garrett Pro Pointer AT. And so a lot of my titles are all kind of the same. It'll be Park Metal Detecting with the MindLab Equinox 800 metal detector and the Garrett Pro Pointer AT. And so I have instantly in my title, I have focused several keyword phrases within that title that give me a lot of search results just by using metal detecting, the machine that you use, and either where you're going to be metal detecting at is a great way, or just another brand name of a product that you use, because these brands get searched really, really high on YouTube, whether it's MindLab or Garrett or the Legend or any of those detectors that are out there. Just by putting those words in your title alone helps you get the traction for those results. And then I put just a short paragraph about the hunt that I'm using, and then I put my 3 hashtags that I want to target for that particular video. And when you put them in the description, just the 3, then they instantly appear above your title.
You hear this, guys?
So you have 3 enhanced hashtags above your title, plus all the focus keyword phrases that you've used in the title. So instead of them taking up space in your title, your hashtags, putting them in your description puts them above your title and gives you those 100 characters to fill with keyword focus phrases that are rich in searches.
Are those keywords the same as your, are they hashtagged in the description, Brian? I'm not sure.
They are.
Okay.
And so for me, most of the time I'll use hashtag metal detecting. I'll use hashtag Monday Digs, for example, for our Monday Digs group. And then I'll use a hashtag that's related to either my machine, like the MindLab Equinox, or another piece of equipment that I'm using.
And then would those be the same ones you're using in the hashtags below?
In the tags, yes,
In the
they
tags.
are. Yeah. So what you want to do, it's a very repetitive system, but
Okay.
the search bots, that's what they look for. They look for that repetitiveness. They want to see that focus keyword phrase as a hashtag above the title. They want to see that focus keyword phrase in the title itself. They want to see that focus keyword phrase in the description, and then also down below in your tag sections.
Guys, what just told, I didn't know. I didn't know. And if
By putting it in all three places, you really convince the search bots that that's what this video is about. And that could be for, cooking, baking, uh, any genre out there. Just use those focus keyword phrases and from your genre, and TubeBuddy will actually help you find the focus keyword phrases that are being searched in your genre. So TubeBuddy is a very great tool. I recommend it to anybody that really wants to boost their SEO.
and I'm going to go to school on that. Thank you so much for that. That's huge for me. So what I'm hearing is that people are technically searching. They're not randomly searching. They're technically searching for MindLab. They're technically searching for metal detecting. This is not find gold. This is not. They're looking for specific things. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
It is. Again, that's where the not just using single words comes into play, because when you use a single word, there's just so many results that you can't hardly be found. If you'll narrow that down to your focus keyword phrases and your genre, you'll find that you'll be found a lot more often in your genre, and it's going to produce results.
So we could go to your videos right
Yes.
now. We could find
Yep.
all these things that you're doing and go to several videos and see this process work out, and then we could take and apply that to our channels. Is that right?
That's exactly correct. And that's really what I recommend. Even if you just went and you copied my description and then just changed it to your stuff, that would be okay. That I've used these tools and I've made that stuff appear in my title, my hashtags, my description, and my tags below. And so I've convinced the search bots that that's exactly what this video is about. And when people go in there and search, your tags get ranked. There's a ranking system to these tags. And as you use the tag more and more and more, you'll see this little green number will appear on that particular tag. And you'll see that little number go up and up and up. And that little number is your rank for that particular keyword phrase. And so as your number goes up higher and higher in those tag rankings, well, then that means that your video is appearing higher and higher in the search results of that particular keyword phrase.
Guys, this is incredible information, because what we've just learned is Brian has a skeleton for our success. We don't even need to be smart about it. We can just be efficient about it by going to his channel, looking at 3 or 4 videos, starting it on ours, going to TubeBuddy, right? And within these 2 steps, we can actually go from being complacent video content producers to being proactive in trying to get our materials found, right? Our content found.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Now, we talked a little bit before about the people that produce content and expect people to find them
Right.
because their content is so good. And what we were talking a little bit about was exactly this whole ball of stuff that we were just talking about. I think it's fascinating for me. But you have to, number one, you have to have a community to be part of, right?
Definitely.
So what would you say about a community? I mean, let's talk about this, because you have been incredibly successful. Tell us what that community means, and how do you find it? How do you interact with it? How do you pursue it? How do you give us your background on that? Because it's a big community.
It is a big community, and really, just by being interactive, go to these live streams, go to these channels that are holding lives, and get in there and chat with those people, and you'll find that 9 times out of 10, they're going to welcome you with open arms. Many of them will make you a moderator so that you can drop your link in that particular live, and the community, I think, is invaluable for both support as well as views, and kicking your channel off great, or a video off great with a premiere. When you do a premiere and you've got 30, 40, 50 people from the community in there, well, that's boosting your algorithm immediately, because you've got these people that are in there watching your premiere, and they're commenting and they're liking and they're sharing and they're helping spread the word for you. And then that just spreads tenfold out throughout of all of YouTube, because every time that you're getting a like and you're getting a comment, that's just helping your algorithm even more. And so to me, the community is invaluable. They're very supportive when it comes to personal things and things of that nature. Again, it restored my faith in humanity. I myself had figured that, things were on the downside of humanity. And then when I met the metal detecting community, I saw it totally changed my mind. I said, there are still great people in this world. There are people who are willing to get out there and help you and work with you and give you advice and bring you onto their lives so that you can be featured, and collaborations with other channels. And so the community to me is invaluable. You can't do any of this without the community.
And guys, what we've just heard here has been more information that's been useful to me in the last 5 minutes than I've ever heard anyone try to explain it before. Because we now have an expert telling us how to put the hashtags in the description, how to identify the words in the title, how to use TubeBuddy to find the descriptors, right? The hashtags, and
Right.
also where we should be finding the title, the key title words. Can we find the key title words in TubeBuddy as well?
No, you can't, but really that, for the title, it always just applies, of course, to the video that you're showing. And for me, I just like to use, brand names of equipment that you're using, where you may be detecting, whether it be a park or the beach metal detecting, park metal detecting, field metal detecting, relic metal detecting. All of these are valuable keyword phrases, and so many people just don't even use them at all. They just put, I found a debuckle in the field. Well, when you just found a debuckle in the field, nobody's searching debuckle. Nobody's just searching field, but a greater portion are searching field metal detecting. And so when you use those focus keyword phrases, then that's when you start appearing higher in those search results.
Guys, we have Brian Higgles here. Brian Higgles has a website design SEO company. He is taking his feed from February. I just want to keep on repeating this for all the new people that are coming in. And I want you to start writing some questions on here, guys, if you have them, because I'm going to go to the very bottom and we're going to start to bring up those questions. But what he's done in the last 10 minutes gives us a ladder to climb up to at least get to point B. Right? At least point B. We're producing the content, right?
Definitely. And so you're producing the content, you want to be found, you want it to be great, you want it to get a bunch of views, but if you're not using the SEO techniques, you're never going to be found. These SEO techniques are vital to every single video that you put out. And if you just skip that part and you just don't even pay any attention to it, well, then you're going to get the community views and you're going to get everybody that would normally watch your videos anywhere, but then it's just going to stop. It's going to have no long-term value. That's where the search engine optimization comes into effect, because when you're being found, then you're going to be appearing on those searches more and more and more. And videos, you want them to grow beyond the community. You obviously want the community views right off the start, but then long term, you want that thing to continue to grow and grow and grow and keep getting viewed. And the SEO is what helps. And once you have this dialed in, you can actually set the defaults for your channel in your settings to always use the same information in the description. So that's what I've done. I've created my description the way that you can see it on any video. And like I said, even if you just take that, copy it, and replace it with your stuff, that's great. Please do. But then make sure that you go in your settings and you set that as the default for every single video that you produce. Well, that speeds up your time in creating that description. That way, when you upload a video, it immediately has all that information that you already need to be there. And then you just go in and you change the paragraph and you change the title a little bit to match whatever dig you're on, whether it be at the park or the beach. And so all that stuff can be set as the default so that it can speed your time involved of putting these videos out. It's a complicated thing. And like you said, there's about 17 steps of things that you should make sure all these things are correct before you actually publish the video. And just using my description, using those hashtags in the description, and then making sure that you're using those tags at the bottom. The tags at the bottom are invaluable, I think. They give you 500 characters. Some people only put a few. I recommend using all 500 characters and just stuffing that thing full of keyword phrases that are relevant to your genre.
Stuff it like a teddy bear, guys.
Yes, sir.
You understand? Guys, I cannot tell you what this means. I've been told so many different things about this stuff. And this is from a guy who's still accelerating past the finish, right? Still accelerating. He doesn't even know what his top speed is. And what we're hearing is we can now go to his channel. We can look at his titles, his description, his keywords, his hashtags, and it's right there. We can now hit the default. Amazing. We can go to TubeBuddy. You have right here in this video the key and the lock. If you want to produce content and have it be seen, Brian Higgles, our guest today, it's amazing what he's just told us, because no one has put this content that I've seen in this short of a period of time. Now you all can produce content. You all can go be part of a community. You just heard how important that is. It's amazing. So, Brian, let's talk a little bit about shorts, and let's talk about algorithms and stuff, because
Sure.
I think I want to get down to the bottom. Let's see if we have any questions here. I think
Sure.
we're still we're just, these people are just greeting each other. Hannah, welcome. I think I've gotten to everyone. If I missed you, I apologize. Questions, guys, please list them now. If I could ask that we just go down to the questions, hunting and stuff. J&J, welcome. Tell us a little bit about shorts right now as it pertains to YouTube.
Well, I love shorts. I love shorts for a lot of different reasons. I've been running shorts ever since they were back in beta, and they weren't even really, they were just trying to figure the shorts out. You know, YouTube has been cued in that, you know, platforms like TikTok that have these little short videos are very, very powerful, from 15 seconds to a minute. You know, the attention span of humans, unfortunately, has been reduced to this little 15-second to 1 minute portion. But by using shorts, the shorts are incredible for expanding your base internationally. You know, when you run a short and it hits the shorts feed, it's not just in your genre, it's all over the world. And so you'll see that you'll be gaining subscribers from foreign countries and just all over the place that you never even thought imaginable, just from these tiny little shorts. You know, and it's like a lottery ticket. I've spent a lot of time trying to dial in exactly how to make a short pop every single time, and I myself am unable to do that. So shorts are kind of a lottery ticket. Sometimes they'll get 26 views. Sometimes they'll get 2,600 views. But what I do is I have I focus on a long video. A long video is great for retention and view hours and keeping your audience there. So I create a long video when I'm editing. And then as soon as I'm done with that long video, I'll create my Monday Digs video, which can only be 13 minutes. So I chop the best 13 minutes out of this long video, and that's what I use to create my Monday Digs video. And then what I do is I take all those clips from the best of from the Monday Digs video, and then I copy and paste them into a template for my shorts. And I just create my shorts directly from the long video content that I've already spent time editing. And so when you do that, you can release your short. And when you release your short, it's very, very important that you link back to the long video that you created that short from. And so what I do is I put that video link in the description of the video in the short. And then I also put that video link as a card. You can add cards that have a card. And put the link in that card as well. So then they watch the short, they have the card pop up where they can go and watch the long video. Plus it's also in the comments and it's also in the description. And so I paste that video link everywhere that there's interaction. And I found about 1 to 3% will convert from that short and get to the long. And how I see that, 1 to 3%, which, isn't a huge number. When you've got 200 followers, it's not a big number at all. When you've got 2,000 followers, it becomes an even larger number. And then when you're up to 20,000 subscribers, well, that 2%, that 3% is another, could be another $100, $150, $200 in your pocket. So,
and I just want everyone to hear that. This is about you growing your channel to make all these small things bigger. Did you just hear that? Because when you get all this SEO stuff, the keywords, the hashtags, when you get the descriptions down, then you go to the cards and you link to the short video to the long video. Do you hear? You now have the rungs of the ladder. Brian has taken all this information and given us the ABCs, right? Is there anything else we're missing here as far as the ABCs to get us at least to get our content is out there as much as possible, being beginners or intermediates?
Not really. If you'll follow these few simple techniques by using the stuff in the title and the description and the tags that I explained, you're going to see a dramatic difference in your subscribers, your view time, your conversions, your click-through ratios, all that's important. The whole goal of YouTube is to first get an impression to where it's either suggested or appears on your home screen or in your home feed or whatever that might be on your TV. As you pull up your TV, you'll see videos that they recommend to you. And so taking this information and applying it is going to make all these videos have better long-term success. This isn't a short-term kind of thing that, when you do it, it's just going to magically explode. The algorithm has to learn that you're doing it right. And as you continue to do the same things right again, by having all these things in line, the title, the description, the tags, all of them in line, the search bots learn that your channel is doing this right. And as the search bots learn that you're doing it right, that's when your tags start ranking higher and higher and higher, and you appear higher and higher and higher in those search results. So if somebody does a search, you want to be found. You want one of your videos to be there. And if you don't put any SEO at all, well, it's just not going to happen. And another part of this is crucial is analytics. So many people ignore analytics. They've never even looked at analytics. They don't even know what analytics are. If you're not spending time reviewing your analytics, I love to look at mine while I'm having my morning coffee before I'm going out and getting ready to slay some targets for the day. I look at my analytics. Analytics are going to teach you everything you need to know about your channel, because they're going to show you what's working. They're going to show you what's not working. They're going to give you percentages of click-through ratios of particular thumbnails that you've used that have done better than others. So if you go into analytics, for example, and it says 28 days, you switch that to lifetime, and then you go to the advanced analytics, it's going to bring up just a whole host of information, and you can literally sort by subscribers, by view time, and by click-through ratio. So for example, when you sort all your lifetime videos by click-through ratio, then that's going to tell you which thumbnails of yours are converting the most click-throughs. And so that's going to tell you what kind of thumbnails that you need to be creating. You'll see that some of your thumbnails did really, really poorly, and some of your thumbnails did really, really well. And that might have been because either it was the image in the thumbnail or some words that you've put on the thumbnail. It could be a whole host of scenarios as to why that number is higher. But by viewing the analytics, the analytics are the key to everything. You got to get in there. You got to get in there and see what's happening, see what's working, know what's working, and then fix what's broken, and then use what's working really, really well.
Analytics are the key.
Key.
You have the key.
100%.
You have the key. The lock right here after you produce your content is everything that we've talked about.
Right.
And guys, when he said analytics is key to me, before we started, my jaw hit the ground because I thought it was content. I thought it was thumbnails. I thought it was my perfect title. It has, guys, analytics will tell us how we're doing, right? We can tweak.
Exactly.
What?
And you'll learn that like you said, you're creating a great title and you're doing all the things that you think that you should be doing. But then if you don't know what the numbers are producing, then you have no idea whether it's right or wrong. And analytics tells you that. It's literally right there. Get in there, look around, start surfing through those numbers, figuring out what they mean, and why certain videos are doing better than others. And then after that, it's just a rinse and repeat. You just repeat what's doing really, really well, and you know exactly what not to do.
So, guys, we all started on YouTube for one reason or another. All of us started by producing a video very hesitantly, right? We produced a video. Oh, we're just going to put it out there. Then, after a while, we all started to edit. We started to try to keep the content short, whatever. Brian, I'm going to ask several things. First of all, I'm going to ask everyone in this chat here to go to B. Hagel's channel, Brian Hagel's channel, and check it out on YouTube.
The content is actually the very last important thing, because the very first important thing is to get the impression. And if you're not getting the impression, then you're not going to get a click through. The SEO is what helps you get the impression. Once you've got the impression, you might see in your analytics that you're getting hundreds of thousands of impressions, but you're not getting any click throughs. Well, that's where the thumbnail comes into play. So it's first the impression, and then it's the thumbnail. The thumbnail is producing click-through ratio numbers for you, letting you know what percentage of people are actually clicking on your video. Once they've done that, then it becomes about the content and retaining that viewer once you've gotten them to your channel and you've gotten them to one of your videos. Then your videography, your content, what you're finding, how you're presenting it, the tone of your voice, all those things start to come into play once you've gotten the user there. You have to get the user there first before you can convince them to stay with your content.
Isn't this opposite? I'm just going to throw this out to you guys. Isn't this opposite of what we all thought? It's opposite what I thought, right? Because you start off with something tangible. You're something, you have a camera and a video. And I'm just curious to see what you guys think in here. about what he's saying, because
Well,
this
you know,
seems to be.
you've spent so much time on your video. You've spent so much time recording it, making it great, and in your editing, and then for it not to be found and not to get viewed is just heartbreaking, because you've created an incredible video. It looks great, it sounds great, it's nice and flowing, it flows really smoothly, but then you're just not getting any views, and the only reason you're not getting any views is because you're not being found. You have to be found.
You have to be found. Guys, this is the best ever. For instance, the key takeaways we've gained in the last 45 minutes, guys. You can take any one of us can take what we're doing and be much better. Any one of us. Brian is to go over to his channel, look at what he's done, use it as a template, steal, take, whatever.
Yes,
Be nice,
please.
give him credit, right? If you're nice, you gave him credit, because I always believe that stuff comes around, and let him know. Stop by and check out his videos and say thank you for this time. It's very curious when you're learning something like this, especially for me. You think you know something, and then you come out and you meet a guy like you, and he rearranges all your thoughts, which I think is part of life. But
Yeah,
so
definitely.
so let me ask you, have you found a key? I haven't. To be able to tell you a successful video, not long or short, a successful video from a failure video. I can't find that key. I've done social media for 8 years. I can't. I some of my worst stuff has turned out to be the killer. It goes crazy, and then the stuff I think is going to go good, I just can't figure it out.
And that happens a lot, especially with shorts. It's funny, we make these shorts and we'll put like, an 1892 bar recorder in there, something that you rarely find, one of the greatest finds of your life, and you put it in a short and it doesn't get any views. That happens a lot. And the shorts, unfortunately, they're just like that. It's a hit and miss, because we've had guys that, show a nail and a pull tab in a short and it gets 100,000 views. So when it comes to shorts, it's totally a lottery, and the content isn't really all that relevant. But when it comes to your longer videos, that's when you really need to apply these techniques. And there's also a section too that a lot of people miss and don't even know about. If you go into your settings and you go to your channel settings and you go to the basic settings of your channel, you'll actually find that there's a tag section there that is telling the search bots what your YouTube channel is about. And I've met a lot of people that haven't even filled out that area at all. It's totally blank. And so that's one of the very first things that you need to address, is to make sure that your channel
Number one.
SEO is included. So many people skip that, and where this is, I'll tell you here. Let me pull this if I can. So if you go to your dashboard and you go to settings,
Okay.
and you go to the channel tab, and then you go to the basic info of your channel, you're going to find a keyword section. And many people don't have anything at all in that keyword section. And mine is stuffed with meta detecting keyword phrases. I'll read them to you. Here's the keywords that I have for my channel. This is the entire channel. Meta detecting coins USA, meta detecting finds, meta detecting relics, meta detecting baseball fields, meta detecting infields, meta detecting underwater, meta detecting a lake, tot lot meta detecting, playground meta detecting, park meta detecting, beach meta detecting, field meta detecting, relic meta detecting old schools, Garrett Pro Pointer AT, MineLab Equinox 800 meta detector, Live Digs meta detecting. Those are my keyword phrases for my channel.
Do you put those in each of your videos too for your keywords?
Some of them, yes, and some of them, no, because I like to keep my tags for each video related to what's in that video. So a beach metal detecting tag's not going to help you a whole lot in a park metal detecting video. So I like to, I have actually several different lists of tags, all put together per the genre of the type of dig I'm doing, whether it's beach, park, relic, field. They're all kind of different. Some of them are always the same, and I leave them as the default. But then many of them I drive related to what's inside the video.
Guys, what he said is now, after you've done, go to look at his template, after you've gone to TubeBuddy, after you get your title, your description, after you get your keywords and your hashtags, then he says, then you got to go to the section he just talked about, get your keywords down, but you're going to then, now for your video, you're going to be more specific. So it's going directly to the video. Is that correct?
That's correct. The ones for your channel are channel wide, what your channel is kind of about. Then the ones in each video would be related to the particular video that you're putting out.
Guys, I mean, that makes sense, but it doesn't make sense when you're me. And a lot of people on here, when see, admitting it, guys, is okay.
Yeah,
not admitting
definitely.
it. Right? I mean, you got to start somewhere, and a lot of times, owning it and owning this stuff, guys, is the first step to saying, listen, everyone else is the same, and they are the same, guys.
Well, you're in charge of your channel. I mean, your destination is upon you. We all started with 0 subscribers, every single one of us. So whether or not you want to use these techniques to help boost your channel and maybe get more subscribers and more views, that's up to you. You know, some people aren't really here. They're not interested in getting monetized and all that. But many of us, that's the obviously the common goal between us all is to someday get monetized and start earning a little bit of money from the videos that you're producing.
Everyone, again, I cannot say it enough. We have Brian Higgles from B. Higgles. He's a metal detectorist. He's a kayaker. He's an entrepreneur. He has his own company in web design and SEO. What he has just stated on this podcast here is amazing to me, because I'm going to go back now. I have the rungs, I have the ladder, and I know the key things I can do. If you just listen to this 2-3 times, take your notes, you're going to be able to, I guarantee you're going to be able to change your viewing. Then,
yeah, you want these numbers to go up. I mean, that's what it's all about. And unless you're being found, they're just not going to go up long term. You're going to get the initial push, which is going to be great. It's going to be exciting, but then it's just going to sit on the shelf otherwise. What you want to be doing is creating that long-term exposure and that repetitive viewing through the shorts. You know, I always link back to my full-length videos. So I've created a viewing circle between the long, the short, and linking back to the long. I've created this viewing circle of just continually pushing those viewers back and back and back to the long content.
by the card, by using the card, correct?
My cards and the shorts, yes.
Shorts
And I use SEO on my shorts as well. You know, there was a time when shorts were in beta. We didn't put any tags. We didn't even put a description, and they all did really well. Well, now that shorts are the big thing on YouTube, they're even creating special hashtags, you know, for you to use. Like my bloopers is a new one. They want you to produce videos, blooper videos, and use the hashtag my blooper in that particular video. So YouTube's trying to help us and drive us to use your content, and they actually recommend that you do what I'm doing by creating your shorts directly from your long content and then getting that redirect circle back to that long video.
Would you say that you're getting more? This debate has gone on, and I want to make sure that we have so many new people coming in here. That the debate between shorts and longs, shorts are good for X, longs are good for Y. Can you distinguish between those two?
Sure. Shorts are great for international explosion, and longs are great for retaining, retention, and ad revenue. That's
How about
really
new
it.
subscribers? Anything with new subscribers?
Well, I mean, new subscribers can both the shorts and the longs can produce that. You know, that drained lake video that's got 100,000 view or 100,000 views now. I've gotten almost 400 subscribers from that one video.
It's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. And
And
guys, first
it's
and
like a
foremost,
$250 video now. So I've made $250 from one video and from doing all those things right, and basically getting that video to go viral. And that video started going viral, and I honestly believe is because it's a longer video. It's a 33 to 35-minute video. A lot of people, say nobody will watch long videos. Nobody watches long videos. But what I learned in my analytics, when I review my analytics, is that you'll see that the retention in a long video is much, much higher than what they are in a short video. So for example, you have a 13, 14, 15-minute video, you'll see that the average watch time and retention is about 6 to 8 minutes. Well, when you have a 35 to 45-minute video, you'll see that the average retention is somewhere way up around 16 to 20 minutes. And so instantly you have doubled the amount of watch hours that you would get from a normal short video. I think long videos are incredible for a lot of different reasons. Even if somebody does a long video and somebody watches it, say they fall asleep watching your video, that's awesome because they're still tuned into your channel. YouTube is playing ads that whole time that they're watching your video. And since it's a long video and it's 45 minutes worth of exposure, your income from that video is generally 2 to 4 times better than the short video. So what I like to do is have a little something for everybody, right? If you have a long video for those long video viewers that like a long video, great. If you make a smaller video, a 13 to 15-minute video, you get that exposure to the people that don't have the attention span and want to watch a long video. And then you have the shorts too for the people that only want to watch 15, 20, 40 seconds of a video. So by having all three, I have something for everybody.
One of the Big Sun's lawn care said, I've made so many changes while listening to this live. It's made, he goes, this has been very valuable, Brian. And that's one guy. Well, we had the live. He went through his feed while he was listening, and he made the changes. And I'm just thrilled that you find the information. Guys, please share this out and hit the thumbs up as well. 351 says we have 89 thumbs ups, which is fantastic. Awesome. 24 watching. Yeah, it is. It's testimony to you. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. Off the hook, Ted. Welcome. Guys, do you have any quick questions here? Yeah, we've got some great people here. Let me see. I'm going to go to the bottom for some questions, guys. We've had a lot of introductions.
Just like right now, Off the Hook says, I think YouTube will slow down pushing long videos and start pushing all the shorts. Well, it isn't true because there's not a whole lot of time to have advertising in a short. When you have a long video, there's much, much, much more time for them to be doing advertising in your video and getting the ad revenue. You need to know that YouTube is only interested in showing and playing advertising. That's what this platform is here for. They're selling ads. They're selling ads and making money on ads. They want to play ads in your video. That's the whole purpose of getting monetized, that you can have advertising in your videos. And that's what this is all based around. It's all based around the money. That's when you get to the money portion of it. And YouTube is interested in making money. YouTube has had trouble with their ad revenue. And so I've noticed that they've made some changes. A lot of times they show 2 ads now before a video instead of 1, which hopefully is helping them. But I think long videos are beneficial to anybody and everybody. Put something out there for everybody. Have longs, have mediums, have shorts. That way, if somebody comes to your channel, they have a choice. Let them choose what they want to watch, and you gain the benefits from whichever that might be.
Quick question on that is, what is the commercial break time? I think Shane mentioned something about the 8-minute mark. That does YouTube have a delineation the amount of time that you have a video and how many commercials they can fit in? Have you heard that?
I'm sure that that is part of their algorithm and part of the AI and the way that it all works, but I personally don't know what those thresholds are. I just know that my analytics tell me what I'm doing right. So when I go in and I view my analytics and I look through my entire history of analytics, starting from the very first day that I started, and I sort them by view time. The first 30 videos that have the most retention, have the most views, and the most money are all long videos. They're all over 35 minutes. So my top 20 producing videos are every single one of them are over 35 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question because I like going back and cheating a little bit. So if we go to our older videos and rework everything,
Yeah.
will that help us?
Long term, I believe that it will. Yes.
So guys,
I wouldn't be really focused on worrying about what you've already published. I would be more focused on publishing your new stuff correctly. And then as you have time, yes, I would go back and fix the videos that you didn't put any SEO at all in, or, way back in the beginning that you never even knew that it existed. I do go back and I make sure that the SEO is good on those videos, because I don't know how the algorithm works. I don't know how their AI thinks,
yeah,
but
yeah.
if the information's there, then it has a much greater potential of getting rewatched or refound than it does if you didn't do anything.
I want to make a special shout out here, Polar Bear. I hope you're feeling better, buddy. Polar Bear has not been around much, and just know that my thoughts and prayers are with you, buddy.
Because
And thank you for coming. AR 1776, thank you. Now, if we change, is there the number one thing that Brian said is analytics more important than content?
I believe so, because the analytics are going to tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. You need to know what is right and what is wrong. And the analytics are the only thing that tells you that. It's there. It's there for your use. They provide that. Like I said, I spend morning coffee every single morning. I sit and look at my analytics, what's happening, what's doing really good, what's not doing so well, and I learn from that and I apply that knowledge to my future videos.
Brian's saying is live with purpose. The number one thing that can cause you to live with purpose is consistency. And
Sure.
do and be consistent. And what Brian's telling us, he's giving us again a key learning here, guys. One of the things I can assure you that you can take away from this, or there's a number of things, but if you get up in the morning and you start a routine, start that routine. I don't care if it's in the night, but wherever it is, start your routine to make your
Right.
channel better. Is there any other hints that you have? Things that you've seen some people do that we haven't discussed that could be done better? Some common misconceptions on YouTube before we finish up here.
Well, I think most people just don't experiment enough. I've spent the last 19 months experimenting with all these techniques and then using my analytics to determine which of these techniques is working and which is not. And so by taking all this stuff and putting it together and then using your analytics to realize what's going really, really well and what's not going so well, you're going to learn a lot about yourself, your channel, what to do, what not to do, and that information to me is invaluable.
Could I ask you a question here? This is off the cuff, but is your competitor another channel or is it you?
Um, I honestly don't feel like I have competitors, because every channel, every person has their own character and their own way of doing things, and the way that they produce the videos, and I think that just be yourself, just go out there, have a great time. If you're not having fun, that's a travesty, because having fun is very important. And that's where the whole live with purpose thing is for me. I try to live life and be good to people and live with purpose and share my experiences and share my knowledge and just put out really, really good vibes and love each other, and it comes back tenfold. It really does. This world has gotten so crazy. It seems everybody's gotten, really, really negative, and negativity just brings you down and just ruins a good time. So, try to live with purpose, try to do good things, try to, be kind to other people, and let that be your way to step to the next level. I think it's invaluable.
Two quick comments here, I think are right to what you were saying. Sarcastic Storage Stacker said, I compete with my own analytics. And I think that's a good way to look at it, right? You're competing to see if you're getting any better. And,
exactly.
Right. And I think that's a healthy way to look at it. It keeps you positive. Guys,
Well,
if you're not positive, go ahead.
It's like the click-through ratio. The average click-through ratio on a video thumb is 2 to 4%. If you're pulling 1%, then you obviously know that your thumbnails need some work. And most of mine, when I put them out, I've learned what does really well for my thumbnails. For me, it's a beautiful picture in the background. It's an image of me holding something in the thumb, whether it's great treasure or little treasure, whatever it may be, and then a little snippet with a title within the thumbnail. And those thumbnails for me, when I launch and premiere video, they're running anywhere from 8 to 15% click-through ratio. So you're talking about a huge difference in numbers between 10% click-through ratio and 2% click-through ratio. That, it's a huge difference. And so learning which thumbnails of yours do really, really well and which ones don't is vital. And the only way to see that information is to go in your analytics and look at the click-through ratio and sort your videos by click-through ratio so that you can see which one of your thumbnails has produced the most click-throughs, and then emulate that on your future videos so that as soon as that thing goes out, you're going to get a really, really nice click-through ratio. So you've used your SEO to get great impressions. Then you've learned from your analytics on how to make a great thumbnail to get the click through to your video. And then, like I said, then it becomes about your content.
I want to tell you, I think we have everything right now from what you've just said to actually do something for ourselves.
Yes, sir.
And
if anybody wants to reach out to me, you can find me on my channel. My email address is obviously in the about section. Shoot me an email if you need, if you want some positive reinforcement, or you want some additional techniques, or if you even want me to help you, show you how to do this personally, I'm more than willing to do that. Just get a hold of me.
And guys, here's your homework assignment. Be better than you were yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Be better than you were yesterday. What Brian said, live with purpose. I absolutely believe in you exceeding your expectations. It's no longer good enough to meet expectations. You've got to exceed them because everyone else is willing to meet them. Your competitor is yourself. It always has been. And by the way, some of the comments we're getting here, Brian, from your session here today is fantastic. I hope you go through this and see the comments that you're getting here. They're just like fabulous. Everyone, please, if you would, go to Brian Higgles, hit metal detecting, B Higgles, and you'll come, boom, it's going to come up. This is a in-your-face YouTube channel page. It's glorious when you go to it because it is all about you see what he's done on his channel. Make sure you go there, give him a sub. He even said that he would be willing to give you some one-off. And I'm hoping that we might be able to get you back. And after some people have tried some stuff and maybe failed or have some struggles.
Sure.
This has been fabulous, Brian. This has been fabulous.
Yeah, give us that feedback because we all learn from each other. And so,
right.
When you're using your own analytics to learn about your own channel, well, then the community comes together and you put all that information and all those results together, and you can really determine what's helping you, others in the genre, and really just start to dial that stuff in. And once you get it dialed in and you set it as your default, well, then it becomes very, very, very easy to just rinse and repeat and keep using those techniques that are working very well.
Guys, if you would share this video out, if you would give it a thumbs up, if you would go to Brian Higgles' channel and join him and reach out to him on one of his videos and tell him thank you. This has been an honor, by the way. Having you on here has, I can tell you, it's helped me so much that I can't imagine from some of the comments on here that people are going to actually see growth on their channel where they thought that they were just going to produce videos and it was just going to be this way.
Right.
Sis Rose, thank you. Any other thoughts here before you leave?
I'm just honored to have been here. I thank you. I appreciate all the comments, and I'm sure some new people have subscribed. So I thank you for your subscription. And please, if you have feedback about even things that I'm doing, tell me, say, I think you should try this, or I think you should try that. I'm an experimenter. I experiment, I watch the numbers, I use what's right, and I fix what's wrong. And by applying that very simple technique, you can definitely change the outcome of your channel.
What Brian said, and I want to emphasize this because I didn't at the time, get out of your comfort zone.
Yes, sir.
If you're going to do what everyone else is doing, why are they going to go watching the 14 millionth person doing the same thing? What do you have to try differently? How can you make yourself appear different? What are the things that you can do to be unique? And the other thing is consistency in how you're approaching to build your channel and change it.
Yeah, be yourself, Brian, be unique, be consistent, use these techniques and live with purpose. If you do that, you cannot go wrong.
Thank you so much for being here. This is an honor. And I want to tell you, it is amazing the amount of information. I actually feel, Brian, like I could, by the end of next week, have an impact on my channel that's so profound that I feel like my work is actually getting the notice that it deserves, rather than throwing stuff out there and hoping it sticks to the wall. It's totally different. It's actually a systematic approach.
There is a systematic approach to it. The throwing at the wall and hoping it sticks, it works temporarily, but the whole idea is the long-term growth. This isn't about today. This isn't about tomorrow. This isn't about next week. This is about your channel evolving and producing results and producing at some point a profit. We all would love to be monetized and be making money at this. And these techniques can definitely help you do that.
This is fabulous. Thank you so much.
And get back with us. Like you said, share the information. Let me know if you've tried out these techniques and nothing's changed at all. Contact me personally, and I'll help you personally get dialed in so that you can start making a positive change.
Guys, where else are you going to get that? I mean, talk about character and talk about passion for what he does and belief in what he's doing. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a thrill on my path. This is so great to have had you here, and I think everyone agrees. Have a great night, and I'm going to follow up with you through email and stuff. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Jeff, and very welcome to everybody out there. I'm always here to help, so if you need anything, please reach out.
Guys, remember, consistency, having a challenge for yourself, be better tomorrow. Always be better tomorrow and step out of your comfort zone. Have a great day, and thank you again, Brian. Appreciate it. Brian Higgles, I want to thank you for being here. Brian Higgles on YouTube. You can go to his channel and subscribe. He has multiple platforms. He's on everything but Instagram. I think we talked about that. And he has a website, bhiggles.com.
Yeah, and if you want to read more about that time capsule, I have a blog on that time capsule where I go through the whole day of the miraculous recovery of that time capsule. Yeah. The video's there as well on the blog, so you can see it all and just watch that amazing discovery for yourself at your convenience.
Now, everyone now has seen why I wanted Brian on this channel so much.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Yeah, pleasure. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great day.
Good seeing everybody.